It has been many years. I thought I had left it behind, but the wild hunt has returned to my world, and with it, the calling of something I thought I had left behind long ago. But you get my fun intro. Aren't you excited? So today we're going to be building a Witcher-inspired medallion, and this is a quick little project made out of oven-baked Sculpy and painted up, but it looks really good. You can make this smaller. The plan is going to be at samhain.ca, and you'll be able to just download it for free. It's just a template. You can do this by eye if you do it off my video regardless. I wanted to show the second one that I built because this one was done slightly different texture, and the texture on the wolf is different. You can see same plan, exactly the same. And I just wanted to say that this is something else you can do when you're going to go do your texturing on it. But this is the one we actually do on the video, but I wanted to show it regardless. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. It was fun to make. I really like how this thing turned out. And now I got to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with this thing when I'm all done. But hey, the fun is in the adventure. Anyways, remember to like, share, and subscribe my videos. It helps me a bunch. And enjoy the video. Well, good morning, prop makers of the world. We're back again, and we're going to be making a bit of a different prop today. This one requires some sculpting, but I think I managed to break it down into a point that it'll be easy to follow for even the non-artistically minded of you out there. And if you are artistically minded, you can probably maybe learn something from this as well. So on sawin.ca, you'll find this template. It'll be free, as always, for the first little while. And we're going to be making the Witcher medallion right there. And ignore the coloring. It's just to help for layering, and we're going to go put it together. So what you want to do, once you got this sheet, you want to take your handy dandy tape, and you want to cover these pieces here. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coloring on it. And you can see I got black on it already, using a pen, which is in our ingredient list of happiness. Once we've got that, what we'll do is we're going to be tracing these through, but we're going to do this main circle first because this is the main part of the actual medallion. And I just drew one myself. Clever. So we're just going to put that off to the side now. You can either cut this out, or if you want to be fancy, you can use a compass. The center point will be marked, and what we're going to do is we're just going to roll out some of this Sculpy to get it so we can do the circle. Now, it's cool here, so even my Sculpy is a bit on the harder side, and I was just digging around my furnace, so I just got oil onto it as well. You know, that's the way things work. So you want to roll this stuff out to about 1/4 of an inch. If it's a little bit less, if it's a little bit more, who cares? Just get it as close as possible. You don't want to be too thick, because then when it goes to bake, it doesn't bake properly. If you go too thin, it doesn't do it right as well. So let's have a look here. That circle looks about right where I want it. I'm going to use this to draw my lovely circle. My knife, which is hiding here. And I've got to be quickly doing this so I don't end up cutting this on the table, because my wife is at home right now and she will kill me. So we're going to go like this. Keep as close to the line as possible. Don't make it look like you've had too many drinks while pulling this off. There we go. Come around, cut that out. Is that a fleck of metal in my Sculpy? How did that happen? So that is our base circle. Oh, we're going to put that off to the side. Actually, we're going to put that off to the paper over here. We'll get back to that after. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the leftover. We're going to scrunch it down. I can hear my birds getting mad at me from the bedroom because that's where I put them. They're like, what? Why do we get stuck in here? Well, you're out there. Every single time I go to record, I got to move them. And the little lovebird has actually got to the point that he very much knows what I'm doing now, and he gets mad at me every single time I do it. So I think it's kind of funny. So once again, you want a long worm like this, or worm, down to about 1/4 of an inch again. There we go. Make sure we're in frame because, you know, it's not like I've never gone out of frame on my videos before. Looks pretty good. Take your knife. I should have had a longer ruler because this would have been convenient to have a longer ruler here. But if you have to do 2 slices at it, it doesn't really matter. Go like so. We'll finish it off on this side here. You know, you want to be decently precise on this part here. It doesn't have to be stupidly precise. Like, don't lose sleep over it, as I always say. There we go. Mark at 3/8 of an inch. 3/8 of an inch. But if you don't want to, if you want to know what the width is, it's right there. That's what that orange band is for this outside edge. But you know me, I will wing it until I, isn't it? Fake it until you make it. No, it's wing it until you get caught. No, that's not it either. It's one of the two. So we're just going to bring this whole band here down to 3/8. Nice go. Look at that. There's a mix-up. Nobody saw it. No proof. I'm a bit thicker on this end. So now once you've got that band made, we're going to return back to our circle, put it down, and we're going to take this freshly made outer perimeter band, which, wow, my thickness is very different on it. No one's going to notice. Shh, don't tell anybody. Gonna put this here. Oh, and that little tiny piece I cut off is exactly what's missing. Isn't that just how it works? We're just gonna pretend it was here all along. Oh, there we go. So, gonna move all this together. Just give that a good push down. You don't want to go so hard that it flexes it out and changes the shape of your circle, but you want to push down hard enough where it's going to actually bond and it's not going to come off after you're finished. Because Sculpy can sometimes do that if you don't have enough of a grab to it. So, I just realized that I missed something here. Isn't that always the way it works? Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to put in some fancy little pause music here while I go and grab what I'm missing. Okay, so what we want to do is, this will actually be in the ingredient list at the beginning. Is it an ingredient list or is it a material list? And what you do is on this whole thing, just go crazy. And you see, I should have done this before I did the outer edge, but it's not that. It's not the end of the world. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to speed this up because you really don't want to watch me get carpal tunnel here. So I'll see you in a few moments. All right. We are now going to do the outside edge. So you know what this gives it? It gives it a fun hammered metal look, and it works out pretty well. Now you need something pokey. Just don't pokey it in your eye. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in a texture on the outside edge of this, which I will speed up again because you don't need to see me do 18 miles of wood grain. You can do this outside edge in whatever style that you want. The wood grain technically doesn't match perfectly, but I love the way it looks, so I'm doing it anyways. And nobody's going to stop me. So what you're going to do is you just take something flat, and what you're going to do is you're going to put in some breaks on where the little tiny itty bitty cute little blanks go. Go like so. And I'm just going to do one to start. Oh no, never mind. I'm going to put it on just so I don't have to go back to this tool again. And you see how I'm going in on the sides. You just want to make it look like there's a break in that wood there, so it looks like there's separate little pieces of wood that have been used to assemble this medallion all together. You know, when I did this, because whenever I do these things, I end up having to do 2 of them. A prototype and a finished one. And the prototype, you learn a lot on. I had a friend ask me, why do I always do a prototype? I said, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I have to go through it so I don't come across as at least a 50% buffoon when I actually make these videos. So let's do this one here. Let's see how we can good focus. Yeah. Out of frame. Yeah. So what you do now is you take your spiky spikerton and you just drag some lines through the edge of this, through the Sculpy. You don't have to press hard on this. And what you do is just have some fun. Think about wood grain and how it goes, how there's knots. And the one thing you do not do is you do not cross the streams. No, you do not cross the grains. So when you're drawing a grain, don't cut across several, because that's not how wood works, and it'll become very obvious and very unbelievable. So I'm just going to quickly do a quick little eye here, and you can go back and touch this up later. So if you don't quite like how it turned out, but you know what? There's a lot of room for screwing up here. You know, you can mess it up pretty badly, and the only person who's going to notice is you. Now what you do is, once you've got your beautiful antique heirloom wood grain done, take the pointy end of the stick and just put in 4 nail holes. Technically they should be up, and I think you can see that on the video. Yes, you can. Look at that. Anyways, I'm going to go through, I'm going to do the rest of the wood grain, and then we'll be back to work on the actual medallion part. Okay, enjoy the show. Okay, so we're finished, and it didn't take that long. You know, I don't really have to speed it up. You just don't get to listen to me yammer on for 10 minutes. So once you're done, just do a little bit on the inside edges here, because I know I didn't do it on the first one. And, you know, as you go along, you can actually say, oh, I don't like that part, and you can go clean it up after. So once you've got to this point, you see we've got a nice looking circle that is actually in frame. And we're just going to move it off to the side to get it out of the way. Not going to throw it like I do in my normal videos. I'm just going to put that there. Now we're going to grab this, and we're going to work on the next part. Actually, I need to move that again to there, because I need the cutting board so I don't cut on the table. Okay, so now this part here is actually pretty straightforward. I don't know. I'm going to have to move my thing again because I don't have enough Sculpy, and I keep on moving that pre-finished frame into everything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten this out, get it down to about 1/4 of an inch again. I should have done this. I didn't think I was going to run out as quick as I did on the big chunk that I pre-warmed. It is crumbling all over the place. And we're just going to get this pre-warmed. It doesn't take a lot to warm up Sculpy in your hands. Just like working with plasticine and stuff. It's really nice. It's one of my, I found it a few years ago while making Christmas presents, and my mother had used it to sculpt before, but of course, you know, I'm a teenager and didn't want anything to do with that. So we're just going to go like this. We're going to roll this out. It does not have to be perfectly linear in terms of thickness. You just want it to be close. And in reality, having a bit of a deviation on thickness is a good thing. Oh, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to combine these. We're going to combine these 2 pieces because I need a bigger piece for the background wolf head. And I need to make sure that I have a decent chunk for that. There we go. Blend that edge in. No one knows better, except for you. Don't rat on me. Okay. We're going to do this. Now, this is a fun reason why I like to do the template like this. You take your pen. You want a non-permanent pen, one of these black, it's like an artist pen. It produces ink, and that just sounds absolutely incredibly dumb. So anyways, you want a pen that when you draw with it, you'll see that it kind of beads up and it wipes off very easily. That is our goal. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly draw around Captain Wolfie here, and you're going to find out why we do it like this. This is actually a neat little trick I figured out. And the pen will throw a fit after a while because you're pretty much not drawing on what you're supposed to, so the act of the wicking does not pull the new ink out of the pen, and it causes some problems. So every once in a while you can just hit it on the actual paper to cause the pen to start flowing properly again. And this is the worst one of the bunch. The other ones go quicker, and you know you're not going to be torturing your poor pen. That's a kind of a thing I do on my channel, isn't it? I torture pens. I don't have a good relationship with them either. On the Ghostbuster sign, when I was drying them out as quick as I was getting them. So once you have your wolf head drawn, you take your piece of Sculpy, you put it down, and you press down hard just for a moment, and then you pull it up, and there you go. You'll have transferred the pattern onto the Sculpy. Then what you do is you just use your knife, you trim it out, and then we put it off to the side. You know, if you miss a few spots, just look at how it is on the original and just adapt. So we're going to go through and we're going to make all of these pieces, and then I'll be back again once they're all cut out, and we'll do assembly, and I'll show you some cool little techniques for cutting on your dining room table without even realizing that you are. Yikes. So I'm going to quickly cut this out before there's anybody catches me. You know, if there's no witnesses, there's no truth. Going to finish cutting this out, and then we're going to speed it up. Oh, missed that one a bit. Then we're going to speed it up and do the rest of them, because you don't need to watch me once again cut out 50 million of these things. I should do like a director's cut of my videos where I don't actually cut out that part and you just hear me drone on about like goldfish and their effect on things. And anyways, so this is what our goal is. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of pieces like this. I'm going to do them all in fantastic speed up mode, and I will choose some fun music for you to listen to that you'll most likely mute so you can listen to your Nirvana or whatever you happen to be listening to at that moment. Anyway, so I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to do the rest. See you in a few. Okay, so we got all of our pieces cut out. When you're doing this, don't fret if these are not perfect. They are going to deviate a little bit when we put them onto the actual medallion. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this here in all its color-coded glory, where the lighter the color, the further back it goes. So those have to go on first. The teeth that I put here didn't really work very well. They're too small to cut out. So what I end up doing is we'll go over this really quickly and how I go and make those teeth. But we're going to start with this piece right here. We're going to blend it in, and then we're going to start layering everything on top. So that piece is the yellow piece here. So you can compare it to there, and you go, yeah, that's the right one. See, it's upside down when I did it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find it where it goes, eyeball it to this, to where it starts. And if it's not perfect, you know, it can be moved later. Give it a push down. Don't want to push down too hard because you'll wreck it a bit. And then what you do is once it's down, just take your tool and right around the edge, take your tool. Anyways, take a tool and right around the edge, just give it that little bit of texture. Hopefully that comes out onto the actual video. If not, I can bring it up a bit here. Let's have a look here. See how I did that little bit of texture? That's what we're going to do on each one. And then once you've got that texture in, what you do is you just put in a few lines like this. You can do as little or as much as you want. I've got two different versions of this, and I'll show you the other one when we're all finished here on how it looks. Anyways, you can do that for texture, and we're going to keep on doing that on each piece that we put on. So the next part, oh, the teeth. We got to do the teeth because they are the odd one out. What I do is I just take a piece of Sculpy, get it super thin. Hopefully that's in frame. Cut off a tooth, roll the end, cut off a tooth, roll the end, roll the end, cut off a tooth. Now we need 6 of them. Roll the end, cut off a tooth. The bottom teeth are smaller, so they don't have to be as big. And you're going to be putting them underneath the jawline of the actual wolf anyway, so you can adjust how big these are going to be right away. Now, when this goes here, what you do is you flip this little guy over, so it's this way up. You just got to be careful here because you can make some mistakes. And you take your tooth, you find where you want it to go, and just push it down ever so gently. And you just need to have, there's 3 teeth on the top and 3 teeth on the bottom. If you do this just from the back like that, it goes really, really easy, and then you're not fighting it. The first time I did it the other way. I put this wolf down and then I put the teeth on from the top. Ah, that was maddening. So, my pain is your gain. We're just going to bring that tooth to there. Now we're going to flip it over and you can straighten those teeth up too when we go put it on. But now we take our thing, and then you can see here on the original how that orange piece nests right into there. You know, before you put it down, you have a bit of flexibility. This ear comes up and just touches the edge over here, like so. Now you can open that up a bit. This is where, you know, you have some flexibility for what you do. Then the whole thing gets pushed down. And you see your placement. My placement isn't exact to what this one is, but that's okay. I like how this one looks. I like how it sits. So, in the end, that's all that matters. Oh, actually, I'm going to bring that up just a tiny bit because I want to have this more to the edge. So I'm going to leave that wolf ear up, but I'm going to actually have it come up and over the other one. Just like so. So now push it all down like we did before. Just be careful of those teeth. Just gently push them down because you don't want to wreck them. Push them all down gently. And once again, take your tool and just give the whole edge a hammered look. You know, we're going to do something a little bit differently on this one, but I'll be sure at the end of the video to show you the variations that you can do on this. We're going to do this whole thing as like hammered steel, like the background is, and see how that turns out. But your finish here now is 100% up to you. How you want this thing to look, and the finish, you know, you can do it with hair where you're just pulling the edge of the knife, not the knife, but the pokey bit thingy to make the actual hair, or you can do what I'm going to do right away, and this just gives the whole edge a hammered look. Okay, now we're going to grab Mr. Magnet, and we're just going to very lightly here, guys and gals, and you don't want to do this too hard. If you do it too hard, you'll flex all of the Sculpy out of the way, and we don't want to do that. We just want to give it some texture, of which we're going to be coming over top. We're going to be losing some of this texture at the same time as we're going to be gaining it elsewhere. And heck, this may finish, and I may not like how it looks, and I may go over the whole thing with putting hair on it anyway. So we're just going to go like this quickly, and you can see it gives it a really neat hammered, if you can get the light right, there we go, a really neat hammered texture to it. So next step is you look at the picture and you go, oh, what is the next part here? It looks like this one, this one, and this one, I think it's the last one. Sorry guys, there we go, that one. So now we take those. Now this one needs a little bit of blending. So you see this long one is the center one. So we're going to take that, we're going to stick it on. We'll see that it ends just at the top there. So we're just going to go like so. Now this top here, you want to push that right into it. So you blend it in so it is not a dramatic stop, at least on this part here. Then you can take your, your thing and go to texture it in properly and have it stick to my pokey thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go through and do the edge here again. Don't do it all the way up now because obviously we blended it in. There we go. Now we're going to take Mr. Repurposed Magnet and give it a bit more texture here. There we go. We're going to grab piece number, that's not it, piece number 2, which is right here. We're going to put that one in. We're going to have that just up a tiny bit. Once again, blend in the top, push down the rest so it holds on nicely. This is what I deal with right here. Look at that. You know, and after you can go back and you can clean this up and you can change it however you want. I like to do it like this, so this is how I'm doing it today. And you know what? When you do stuff like this, it's a learning experience. If it doesn't work out well the first time, the next time you do it, it will. So don't get too disheartened if it does not turn out perfect the first time. I'm going to grab you. Actually, need something that can texture without, with a little bit more preciseness. With more preciseness, good gosh. Precision! Listen to me. So I'm just going to put a few little dots in just to give it that extra bit of fun. Take the last piece and it will sling on into here. Once again, blend the top. You're probably getting used to this now. Get that in, push it down, have the magnet stick to my tools, texture the edge like so. Magnet some texture onto there like so. A little bit of hammered texture. Not a big fan of, I almost went too far with this, so I just got to push that back underneath. See, if you have little errors that you don't like, you can fix them up relatively easy. Okay. Get that hammer texture. Now, the next part here, we're going to go over this pretty quickly. We need that mouth part here, which is, I believe, this one right here. Now, this one is a bit harder because this one is a full blend, and it can be a little bit unforgiving because you don't want to wreck what you've already done. So what you do is you put it on, and then just, instead of pushing from the top, you just push the sides down into the actual creation. Once the sides are down, you just use your finger and you smooth out the edges. You just flare them out so they fit into the actual wolf head. And you see it actually goes really quickly. And then we're just going to put in a bit of texture, of cut texture on the lower side, because you have to remember that this is like somebody's taking a chisel to a piece of metal and they're using it to remove material. So if you kind of remember that when you're building it, you will end up with what you're looking for. Next one, it goes right here. Yeah, it looks about right. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I'll just bend it the other way. There we go. When in doubt, do what you want. So we're going to quickly bring this down. Okay. And I'm not going to speed up this part here because each step here is actually, you know, decently important. And it's not, you can't really screw this up. It's built to look a bit rough anyways. And we're going to texture the edge again, like we have all the other ones. And you'll find that that texture hides a lot of problems, if there is any. And if there isn't, you know, it's not like this is an exacting science. Maybe it is. Maybe I've got a PhD in sculpting wolf heads. No, that's not how that works. So the last part here. Oh no, that's my earpiece. Where's my last little, you know what? I don't know where it is. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to grab this piece because it was so small. I'm just going to not eyeball it. I'm just going to put that into place here. We're going to mush it down to get the edges all right. The first time I did all this texturing, I did it with a little light bulb, but I figured that I would have caused so many people to have a complete meltdown if they saw me using a light bulb over and over to texture this wolf head. So there we go. Now the next part here is the mouth. Why do I think I used that mouth part somewhere else? Oh no, I think that's it right there. Yes, it is. It just looked. Oh no, that's the ear part. So this is the ear. Oh, there's that little piece I was looking for. Oops. So we're going to take this part here now, and this becomes the top of the skull to give it a bit more depth there. And once again, force that edge in, blend it. This one you want the top to be kind of smooth, and then the bottom will be, this part will be smooth at the back here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Yes, you can. So this will be smooth. Use a knife to just push this in. But what I like is I like to keep this edge right here above the eye hard, so it looks like it's part of the eye socket. So we're just gonna do this now. We're gonna do the texturing to get this so it A, sticks in, and B, looks like it's, once again, cut metal. And it looks like in my workings I managed to remove some of my other texturing, so we're just going to put it back in again. This is the great stuff about this Sculpy. If you've ever worked with plasticine, this is pretty much sculpting plasticine, and it has the same feel, and it has the same almost everything on it. It's just wonderful stuff to work with. So we're just going to go like this, give it a bit more texture here. Don't like that line there. Now what you're going to do is, once you get close to this final spot here, you're going to go through and you're going to add in details that you want to see. You know, make it your own. Don't be afraid that, oh, this exactly has to be how, this is how Sawin did it, so it's 100% right. I'm telling you right now, that is probably the wrong direction to be going. So on the ear, you don't want to flare this back. You don't want to smooth the back, but you want to smooth the front in. Take the last little piece, which is this little piece of ear, put it on the front, and once again, don't completely smooth in the part at the ear. You want to have some ridge there so it stays textured, and then just take your knife or your pokey thing and put in the texture that you want to see, because everything that you put in here will oven bake, and you don't want to go too little texture because the paint won't have anything to stick to, and when you dry brush, you want a bit of texture on it so it has something to grab onto and will look really good. So now you go through, and if you see there's places which don't have texture and you want to have texture, do that. You put it in, and now we're going to go over the final. Oh, we got to put the eye in. Almost forgot. So what you do is you just, because the eye is inset, just drag out some of the material with your poking tool implement of choice. There we go. Just going to clean that eye up like that. There we go. The eye's in. I'm going to do a bit more texture here. And this is where you step back and, you know, if at very worst, walk away from this for about 40 minutes. Come back and you know what? The things that you don't like about it will stand out very well. Now, we're going to do one other type of texturing here, and it's pokey. So we're just going to go like this. We're just going to poke some holes at different spots to give the whole thing a little bit of roughness, like in the original mold when it was popped out, it caused some little tiny air bubbles. And this is actually twofold. A, it makes painting an absolute pain in my keister. But no, the real reason is it gives the paint something to attach to, and gives the dry brush something to emphasize when you go to do it, because dry brushing, of course, you've seen my other video. Actually, no, I think my dry brushing video at this current juncture has been seen 3 times. So either a lot of you know how to dry brush, or I did a very poor job of promoting that I did a dry brushing video. So it's one of the two. So we're just going to put those teeth down again. We're going to give those teeth just a little bit of texture. Push up the gum line to make it look like their actual teeth were in somewhere there. There we go. There we are. It's looking pretty good, actually. Do some more dotting texture here, doing some more dotting texture here. Now, for the final parts here, because this is almost done already, we're going to go like this, and you just take your pointer mitten and just give a little bit of a pulled edge right around the outside. I found that this really adds to the finished look of it. Like it was, and try to be random. Humans are horrible randomizers. So when the moment you think that you're being random, you're not. How weird is that? So we're just gonna go like this. We're just gonna put a bit more texture in the background here. And then around the wolf head, we're gonna do a whole bunch of point dots. Just don't hit your teeth, you know, just be gentle. Don't get carried away here. What's my video at already? Holy man. So we're gonna quickly do this. Well, some of this gets sped up, so I'm not going to be feeling too bad at this point, but if not, you get to enjoy my sultry voice for longer than you thought. Lucky you! Okay. Okay. And there is the finished sculpted piece. Now go walk away from it for a while, come back, look how it is. This goes into the oven. Your Sculpy may be different, but I know mine goes into 250 degrees for 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is, that's about a quarter in it, just about half an inch, but close enough. I'm going to look at this in about 10 minutes. I'm going to bake it. And the next time I come back, we're going to go over painting and finishing. But actually what I'm going to do is when I come back, this is already going to be painted black because that is the base coat. And no, we're not going to do that. Talk about, see, this is why I tried to do it the first time and I still forget. I'm going to do a wash on this. I'll record that. We'll do the painting on this. I'll record that. Then we'll go over the dry brushing, which I'll force you to watch the video, which will annotate up there and everyone will ignore it. So I will go over this and we'll finish this up. Anyways, I'll join the few. And welcome back to my paint is dry so I can continue. So this is the final step. We're gonna be dry brushing. I'm gonna put the annotation up there for the video for dry brushing, but you'll see what I'm gonna do here anyways. I may speed it up, I may not speed it up. It depends on what I feel like today. So as with dry brushing, get your brush mostly down to nothing. And on this job specifically, you're going to dry brush the whole thing, but you wanna focus on the background initially because we're actually going to be coppering the wolf itself. This is actually a bad dry. It's wax paper, so it's acting very poor for a dry brush medium. So there we go. And once again, less paint, multiple layers is usually better. I'm kind of breaking that, but I kind of know how much paint I want on here, so it's not that big of a deal. So, you know, depending on what you want to do with this, if you want to make it like really straight finished, you're technically almost done here. That's what's crazy about dry brushing is it finishes so quickly. But I like it to look a bit more diverse in color. So you can see how we got that background. It's just about exactly where we need it. I'm just going to grab a tiny bit more silver. See if I can sneak it into that bottom spot there. There we go. So you could actually be done if you wanted to. You know, this is as far or as little as you want to take it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the copper part, which is my favorite part. Strange how that is. It's like once or twice I've used copper on my channel. I'm going to run out of this stuff. I'm going to have to go buy some more because I love it. So what I'm doing here is we're going to dry brush. Just getting it as this I can take a tiny bit more. And we're going to dry brush just the wolf. Give it a bit more pop because I really love the way it looks when you do it like this. And the reason I did the silver underneath is it just gives it a good base and makes it just look that little bit more metallic. as you layer the copper on. And we're also going to do the outside edge in copper as well. So we're just going to hit this real quick. You know, I really mean it. Dry brushing is one of my favorite techniques. I use it so much because a lot of the stuff I build, I like to make it look like it's aged. Like you've probably seen, I don't do a lot of what you would consider modern items yet. I may do them in the future, but for now, I like the way things look when they get a little bit dirty and it looks like they're beat up now. So once you have a layer of dry brushing on here, go through and accentuate one side of each of these. Like pick a spot and just accentuate the highest points, because you have to realize if something gets rubbed, what gets rubbed the most is the stuff that's most towards the surface. The stuff that gets rubbed least is down below. So you want to play into that, and you want to make it look like the stuff that's being rubbed and it's seeing the most exposure is the stuff that's on the front. And just like that, a little bit's going to do a tiny bit more there. But you can see just how quickly that looks like, it looks exactly how we want it to. I can't really overstate how nice dry brushing makes things. So now I'm going to do the same thing, going to get a little bit of dry brushing, and we're going to do the outside edge. Once again, light coats, because you can't take paint off as easy as you can put it on, especially with dry brushing. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to put on a quick base coat, and you'll see that how it just, and what's so funny is you're going to actually watch this video, and this part here, which makes it go from, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, to, wow, that's a really cool medallion. My camera stopped recording. So we're going to continue on after that little hiccup. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, so we're just going to quickly put this in. We're going to dry brush this up, and we're going to finish this medallion. You know, you can go through, and if you shrink the template that's on samhain.ca, or samhain.ca, depending on how you want to say it, even though Samhain is technically correct, but it's impossible to spell. So that's on me, choosing a name that, you know, doesn't necessarily reflect the easiest thing in the world to say. Oh, 1 second here. No, that was recording. That was definitely video. How odd that was. Okay. Oh, shoot. Look at that. I just missed. I got to fix that after. Not paying attention, and I ended up dry brushing something I didn't want to dry brush. We're just about done here. And just like that, you can see where I screwed up there. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of black. We're going to sneak it in there and just cover up that. See, just like that. Even though I make mistakes. So there we go. We've got our finished medallion. You can go back after you're done here and see spots that, you know, you would like to have a bit more on. That's the benefit of doing dry brushing in light coats, because you can go back and say, oh, I need a bit more here, I'd like a bit more there. And you can bring it up to exactly where you want it to be. You know, you may have wanted to stop at the silver, but I wanted to have the copper. So that's what I did, because I can. No one can stop me. Okay, just like that. And there you go. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with me on this fun little Witcher project. Fantastic series, by the way. I was watching a Shadiversity video where he breaks down the fight scene. Love that channel anyways. So, thanks for hanging out. Hopefully this was straightforward enough where you can go and build this yourself. I try to keep things in the realm of feasibility to make it so more people can do stuff like this. I can do more complicated projects, but a lot of them require a lot more tools and as such. So sometimes I prefer to do it like this. So remember to like, share, subscribe, share it with your dog. Speaking of which, this video is dedicated to Dexter, my first canine fan of my channel. And I totally lost my train of thought. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. I'm looking forward to doing more videos. If you have any ideas and would like to suggest them, write them down there in the comments. Even though I'm pointing to my table, it looks like I'm pointing to the comments. And I will see what I can do, because I'm always looking for ideas, and I'm always looking for new things to build. Anyways, keep building, folks. See you later.